Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a simple, super powerful, and honestly kind of weird rule that helped make Charlie Munger a billionaire. And here's the thing. It flies in the face of pretty much every piece of advice you've ever gotten. So you've probably heard of Charlie Munger, right? Warren Buffett's legendary partner at Berkshire Hathaway? The guy was known for being just, off the charts brilliant. But his real magic trick? It wasn't just about being smart. It was about how he used his brain in a way nobody else did.
And that simple idea, it's the key to everything. See, Munger didn't just have a different playbook. It's like he had a whole different operating system running in his head. He wasn't just playing the game differently, he was playing a different game entirely.
And here it is. This is the big reveal. He literally thought backwards. I know, it sounds crazy, right? While most of us are trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B, Munger was starting at point B and working his way back. And that one little mental flip, that's the secret sauce to his entire way of thinking.
But to really get why thinking backwards is so powerful, we gotta first look at why thinking forwards can be so, flawed. Turns out, most of us are asking the exact same question, and Munger would say it's completely the wrong one. Think about it. Doesn't matter if it's about investing, your career, even relationships. We're all on this hunt for the magic bullet, right? That one perfect move that's gonna guarantee we win. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The normal question is all about addition. What can I do to succeed? But Munger's question is all about subtraction. What can I avoid so I don't fail? He wasn't trying to pick the next big winner. He was just obsessed with getting all the potential losers off the table.
So this whole way of thinking, this powerful mental tool, it actually has a name. It was basically Munger's motto. Let's dig into what it is and exactly how you can use it.
Okay, so inversion is basically this. You look at a problem from the complete opposite direction. Instead of asking, how do I succeed, you ask, what would guarantee failure? What would absolutely 100% tank this project? How could I make sure I go broke? You figure out all the ways to create a total disaster, and then you just make sure you don't do any of those things. Simple, right?
And this isn't just some random business hack Munger came up with. He actually borrowed it from a brilliant 19th century mathematician named Carl Jacobi. Jacobi's whole thing was invert, always invert. He figured out that a ton of really tough problems become way easier to solve if you just flip them on their head first.
So how can you actually use this? Well, it's a pretty straightforward three-step process. Step 1, you have to get crystal clear on what failure looks like. Total disaster. For an investor, maybe that's losing every penny. Okay, step 2, you list out every single dumb thing that could get you there. Making high-risk gambles, trading based on fear or greed, not diversifying your portfolio, all that stuff. And then, step 3, you build a system where the main goal is just to prevent you from doing any of those stupid things. That's it. Okay, I get it. This whole avoiding stupidity thing sounds good in theory. But does it actually work better than, trying to be a genius? Well, the proof is in the pudding. And in this case, the numbers don't just talk, they absolutely scream.
Let's rewind the clock. Back in 1965, when Buffett and Munger got involved, a single share of Berkshire Hathaway stock would have cost you about $12. Yeah, $12. About what you'd pay for a movie ticket today.
Now, fast forward to today. After decades of them thinking backwards, that same single share is worth, wait for it, over $700,000. That kind of growth is just mind-boggling. And it wasn't built by hitting home run after home run. It was built on a solid foundation of just not messing up. See, they didn't have to find every single amazing company out there. They just had to be really, really good at avoiding the ones that would blow up their portfolio. They focused on the don'ts, and that simple discipline, over time, created one of the most incredible investment records ever.
All right, so this is where it gets really interesting. Because this idea from Munger, it's not just about stocks and making money, not at all. It's about everything.
Think about it. You want to be a great leader? Instead of listing what great leaders do, first figure out what a terrible leader does. They micromanage, they never listen, they take all the credit, and then you just don't do that stuff. Or what about having a happy life? Invert it. What makes a life miserable? Bad health, toxic relationships, having no purpose. Okay, now your job is just to actively avoid those things.
And really, that's what this is all about. We tend to think success is about having some brilliant, complicated plan. But maybe, just maybe, it's simpler than that. Maybe it's just about spotting the single biggest, dumbest mistake you could make on your path and then just choosing to go a different way. So the question for you is, what's yours?